morning, happy Tuesday. It is a happy Tuesday. We've got a little bit more progress happening today. We've got Alex for 3 days and we're going to work on some inside stuff. On the cards today is the bulkhead above the kitchen. We've got to frame out a box that sort of comes down from the roof panel so that we can put plaster, a little bit of insulation, some electrical cables, some ducting, all of that sort of stuff. So we're going to get high this morning on some scaffold and caffeine. Is that a good mix? So it's still 0 dark 30. If the sun rises to be believed, we're going to have a reasonable day, but being inside doesn't really matter. But yeah, up behind us we've had ceiling framework installed through the house, so that's really nice. That was in the last video. To more important matters, drink coffee and get high. Yeah. Charlie, there's something wrong with you. It's like you're covered in sawdust or something. So we've had a pretty good day today. We have got, for the most part, all of the framework for the bulkhead done. We've just got to run this guy here. I think we need to attach that to the roof, and we're going to run some packers down, or some, what do we call them? I don't know, jacks, spacers, something, to lift or lower the middle of these rafters as they need it. So we'll run a string line through and then adjust individual rafters. But the sun for us at the moment is setting about there. And when that, see if I can give you a bit of relevance there, when that comes through up here, that'll be sort of shining through these end windows, and that's going to shine flat across the plane of the bottom of this section of roof. So it's pretty important that we get that as flat and smooth and flat as possible. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that we made today. We've made a lot of dust, which I've got to clean up. I'm going to use Alex's rolling scaffold here to finish the foam on the other side of this roof. Hopefully tonight, if I can, find motivation. We'll run these supports through the centre tomorrow. Hopefully we can pack out the back of this wall. There's a section here where it jumps out, somewhere over there. This wall was never going to be seen because of the ceiling detail that we were going to have. Plans change, of course, because plans. So now that is seen, it does matter. We're going to need to pack it out so that it matches the rest of the walls and around the place. But see you tomorrow. Oh, hi there. Alex has just knocked off. He's just had 3 days with us. It's been pretty good actually. We've got the bulkhead finished above the kitchen. I really like the 45-degree angle on the front of it. That's going to bounce light nicely down into the kitchen area. So it's a really nice feature to have this vaulted sort of space all the way up here. And rather than make it feel smaller, the bulkhead has actually, it's sort of, I don't know, enhanced the size somehow. You've got something to reference the entire space with. Instead of it just being a big blank area, it's now got something in it that you can gain perspective and height and depth and all of that sort of stuff with, and it seems much bigger. So I'm really keen to get some plaster on that. So anyway, we managed to get the bulkhead done. We've got those couple of ducting boxes sorted out. We packed out the top wall above us here. We packed out the wall behind the vanity for the plumbing to go on an external wall. Finished off some framing around a door, cavity slider. We framed up the rest of the jack studs underneath the carport, so that's ready for fur and channel for villa board we're going to put on the outside. And we also got this wall clad on the outside. So a couple of little tidy up jobs. Oh, we also got the south wall and the pop-up totally finished. That is now all clad. We've got to take off some cladding on the west and on the east walls to fit those windows when they arrive. But for the moment, that's going to have us done. But this guy above us, this bulkhead, this was the main reason for Alex coming down. We needed to finish off the inside so that we could get plasterers in. The next step immediately is going to be electricians, a plumber, ducting for our heat recovery, insulation, loads of insulation, all the internal walls, all the dropped ceilings, the bulkhead, everywhere we can stuff it, we will pack insulation. Then it's ready for the plasterers. So we've got, I think we said 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something like that. 2 months, yeah, so 8 weeks. We've sort of tentatively booked the plasterers for 8 weeks' time. I'm going to throw this little bit of footage into our video about the inside bit. So it's a few days after Alex has gone and we've done all of that work. But I got notification a day or so ago that we're going to have a blower door test today. So I'm just waiting for the guy to arrive. His name's Justin, and he's the fella that sold us the heat recovery ventilation system, as well as a few other seals and tapes and things like that. I believe he's a builder as well as supplies all of this sort of stuff for essentially Passivhaus-esque builds and things like that. And not that we're sort of really aiming for any sort of test result. I'd like it to be as good as possible, so wherever we can, we will reduce the amount of air that can potentially come in when the house is drawn down to a vacuum. So I haven't researched a blower door test all that much. I know what a good result is, I know what a pretty average result is. I'd like to say that I'm okay with, a higher than really good result, but I'm sort of hoping for a really surprisingly good result. We get what we get, and that's fine. The house and its capacity as being efficient as possible does not rely solely on this result. I know it's built well. I know it's built to the best of our abilities. If there's some air that leaks in from joins or through the OSB, people tell me that that's porous as well for air. The foam in the middle shouldn't be, so I'm sort of like, shouldn't be too bad. So, hoping for a good result, but not going to be bitterly disappointed if it's just an average result. All of that rabbiting aside, I'm going to try and, what are you looking at, Charlie Dog? I'm going to try and block up all of these holes as much as I can on the outside, so that when Justin gets here, we'll probably do it on the back door, I think, because that door opens out. We can set up the little tent that goes around the door with the fan in the middle of it and pull down a vacuum and go around and see what sort of leaks we can find. So hopefully we can't find any, but stuff. That's what I wanted to hear.
Well done, mate. That's awesome. Well done. Great job. That's awesome. Hats off to you.
Can I ask you what you were expecting?
I would have thought that it would have been one or below. So yours is how it should be. Sips should be airtight.
Yeah.
Well, it's as good as it needs to be.
Yeah.
At a highest level. And it's critical. Passivhaus Institute said at 0.6, which is hard to get for a reason, because air tightness is performance. It's critical to performance is air tightness.
Yeah. Well, that was good fun. We Justin just came to pull a vacuum in the house. We did a blower door test. I was surprised, put it that way. I knew in my head the figures that we were sort of aiming for. The figures that I'd heard were 0.25. That is super tight, really, really good. That's the best that the SIP manufacturer has experienced with their panels. I'm really pleased to say we got down to 0.44. Justin was saying Passivhaus is like 0.65 or something like that. So it's really nice to know that we are within Passivhaus specifications. Not with everything. We didn't do the full test. It's not a Passivhaus. Well, it is a Passivhaus, but it's not Passivhaus rated. So look, I'm really stoked, and thanks very much, Justin, for taking the time to come down here and do that test for us. We basically didn't even bother walking around to find leaks because there just weren't any. I'm really stoked, but I'm really late for work, so I've got to go. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you on the next one.